Well, this is the part 2 of membrane potential, right? So in part 1 we learned about a very important topic, that is Nernst equation, right? So in part 2, the continuation, it is for Goldman equation. So in Nernst equation it is for single ions, and this Goldman equation can multiply for multiple ions. Okay, so you can calculate the equilibrium potential for the multiple ions like sodium, potassium and chlorine. Okay, but remember, when we are discussing about the rapid changes in the permeability, we can mainly talk about sodium and potassium. For what? Generation of the action potential. Okay, to generate the action potential, for there will be a rapid changes in the permeability, then we go for sodium and potassium. Okay, but we can calculate multiple ions, okay, by the equilibrium potential, that is sodium, potassium and chlorine. And for this you need the parameters. The two important parameters are very important. Yes, that is the concentration of ions and permeability of the ions, right? So only we discuss the permeability of ions to generate the action potential, that is the sodium and potassium, right? Next, so this is about the Goldman equation. Next we will be learning about a very important concept, that is Gibbs effect, Gibbs-Donan effect. What is that, sir? Listen very carefully. Here the protein anions cannot, okay, they cannot be permeable to these concentration gradient. Okay, so the protein anions are not permeable, that is very important. So because of the presence of non-permeable ion effects, there will be distribution of the permeable ion. So what are the consequences the protein ions will face? Very important. The protein ions will uptake water. Okay, they are going to uptake water along with these protein ions. So the cell will become swell. It becomes bigger in size. Okay, it can even burst. Right. So when the cell accommodates a lot of water, it tries in at some point it bursts, right? So to avoid this burst of this cell, we have got a very important pump, that is sodium potassium pump. Why? What it does? The sodium potassium pump is going to push the sodium out so that the cell won't burst. So very important concept, that is the Gibbs-Donan effect. Especially we have to note for protein anions are not permeable. So this is about the these are the protein anions you can talk about. Okay, these are the protein anions which are not permeable, right? So what are the consequences? What we learned about? It uptake water. Protein anions will uptake water. The cell may burst. It swells up and bursts. To avoid that, we have got a sodium potassium pump. Okay, and the cell won't burst. Very simple. And one more point. So this is about the uptake of water. The next important point is albumin. So colloid oncotic pressure. Colloid oncotic pressure of the albumin is going to regulate our fluid reabsorption. So second point is about the albumin, right? So the third point will be in the resting membrane potential. It will cause negativity inside the cell. It will cause negativity inside the cell. Understand? So that is due to electric gradient. So three important consequences we have learned about, that is the sodium potassium pump where the cell won't burst. Okay, and next important point is albumin, that is the colloid oncotic pressure is going to regulate our fluid reabsorption by the capillary level, right? The next important point is the negativity. In the resting membrane potential, there will be negativity inside the cell, that is due to electric gradient. Very simple. So this is about the Gibbs-Donan effect, right? So next very important topic as for the university exam as well as in Viva, that is nerve action potential, right? So nerve action potential, you have to draw a diagram which is there in your book. Okay, so just understand the concept alone. Okay, so here So there are different phases. There are 4 phases you have to know. First phase is about local potential change. So what are the changes you have to know? Let us talk about. Listen carefully. So there are different. This is time. In y-axis there will be time, and in the x-axis there is the amplitude. First you have to know this. In the y-axis time is there. In the x-axis we have the amplitude. Right. Now what happens? First of all is, at a particular level there will be a response. Okay, so this time period you call it as latent period. Okay, so latent period means what? That is the time gap between the stimulus as well as the response. This is the latent period. Next, what happens? There will be a local potential change will be taking place over here. So it takes RMP from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV. Listen carefully, minus 70 to minus 55 MV. That is the first phase, which is the local potential phase. Okay, so there will be a small rise over here, and during this phase between minus 70 and minus 55 we call it as local potential change. So what is the thing going to happen here is, there will be sodium influx. Listen carefully, there will be sodium influx. Okay, but in phase 2 also there will be sodium influx. What is the difference there? Very simple, it is very less and slow, because this is an initiating stage, right? This is going to be an initiating stage between minus 70 and minus 55. Okay, so because of this, what is going to happen? There it takes the RMP from minus 7 to minus 55. There will be sodium influx. That is the phase 1. It is very slow and it is very less also, right? Now in phase 2 what happens? See, this is the 2. Okay, this one is 2, which is there is depolarization. Okay, there is depolarization where there will be more amount of sodium influx, right? Small amount of sodium influx, but it is rapid. But here it is very slow and very less. Okay, but here it is rapid. Why there is rapid? Means there is complete open of the voltage gated channels. Very important, voltage gated channels, right? So because of this axiom potential, you can also go up to plus 35. You can go up to, remember this is plus 35 MV. Okay, can go up to plus 35. You have to know. Okay, now what happens during the third phase? What happens is, that is repolarization. Now who is coming into account? That is the potassium efflux. There is potassium efflux happening over here. That is the third phase, that is repolarization. Okay, so we learned about local potential change, depolarization and repolarization. What is the next important thing is hyperpolarization. This one, this is the hyperpolarization. Okay, so here the RMP will go down, even downer to minus 90. Why is it is going to minus 90? Very important cause, that is due to the release of GABA. Okay, that is due to the release of GABA. So this GABA will cause inhibition by hyperpolarization. Will cause inhibition by hyperpolarization. Means what? What it does? So there will be chlorine influx and potassium efflux. Okay, so normally there will be potassium influx, but who is coming into in? Because of GABA, we have the chlorine influx. Understand? So because of this only is going more down. Minus 90 is going because of chlorine influx. Okay. So next this we have some GABA agonist. It is used for sedation. For sedation purpose, we use this GABA agonist for that is the BB. Remember that is B, that is barbiturates and benzodiazepines. So what are the 4 phases we have learned about? Local potential change, depolarization, repolarization and hyperpolarization due to GABA, that is the causes inhibition. Understand? So who is coming here? Chlorine influx, but potassium efflux will be going on, right? So we learn about the sedation also. Next very important topic about this graph, this is similar to this, but the refractory period I am going to discuss about. So this refractory period is divided into 2, that is absolute refractory period as well as the relative refractory period, absolute and relative refractory period. Now this absolute refractory period, in this gap, this is what time. Okay, this is the y axis and this is the x axis, talks about amplitude, right. So here in this graph about the time interval, if you see from the firing level to this gap, that is the 1/3 of the repolarization. Okay, so from the firing level to 1/3 of the repolarization. So what will happen when second stimulus is being produced? There will be no proper response. This is the absolute refractory period. Now what is relative refractory period? This interval. What it talks about, listen carefully, the second stimulus will be of maximal strength. Here there is no response at all, but here can produce action potential, where in the refractory period, okay, relative refractory period is going to produce the action potential by producing maximal strength. Very simple, you got the point. Okay, next we will learn about something important concept, that is the gate concept. Okay, so in this gate concept we should learn about the here, that is voltage gated channels, right. So this gate channel also talks about the voltage gated sodium channels, which is having two gates. One is M and H. M gate, H gate. Okay, so M gate is there and H gate is there. M means activation gate. Okay, M is the activation gate. H means gate open. Gate is open. Okay, M gate and H gate. Okay, now what is happening? So we are divided into the three states. One is resting state, open state and inactivation state. So resting state, open state and the inactivation state. So what is going to happen, sir? Very important. See, now you have the concentration gradient here. Here you are having the gates. Okay, now I am taking this response, resting gate response. Here resting gate means what? M gate will be closed. So I am drawing M gate here. This is M gate will be closed and H gate will be open. This is the H gate. Okay, now what is going to happen in resting state means nothing will come in. Nothing will come in because the M gate is closed. So there is resting gate. Understand? Similarly, open gate means what? Both the gates are open. Open gate means M gate also open, H gate also open. So I am talking about like this. This is H gate open and this is M gate open. So all the ions can travel through. Right? That is the open gate. So you can freely come inside. Sodium can freely come inside. Inactivation gate. What is the inactivation gate? Listen carefully. M gate will be open, but H gate is not closed. H gate is closed. M gate is open, H gate is closed. Means what? Say similarly, I am drawing like this. Okay, here M gate is open. Okay, M gate is open, but H gate is what? Closed. This is the H gate. Sodium will travel through, but is inactivated because H gate is closed. Okay, this is the three important phases you have to know. Resting state, everything is closed. Okay, open state, all are open, so only the sodium can pass through. Okay, inactivation state, M gate is open, H gate is closed, so it is inactivated. Very simple, right? Okay, next very important concept, that is driving force. Driving force means it assesses the direction of ions. Okay, it assesses the direction of ions. We have a formula here. They may ask you in one more question. Okay, so that is the membrane potential minus equilibrium potential. Membrane potential minus equilibrium potential. Membrane potential they will give. For example, sodium. Sodium, if you see driving force, they are giving minus 90 MV and plus 60 is the equilibrium potential. Right? Okay, plus 60 is the equilibrium potential. So when you calculate this, minus 150 MV. Sodium, the driving force for sodium is minus 150 MV, which tells that this negative sign minus 150 is more, right? So it when the driving force is more negative, then a positive charge ion tend to move inside the cell. Yes or no? Am I right? See, cell is more negative, amma. Cell is more negative, which means what? It attracts the positive ions. So, attracts the positive ions, which means what? A positive charge ion will tend to move inside the cell. That is the most concept, that is the beautiful concept of the driving force. So, this is about the membrane potential. I hope you have understood. So, if you like this video, like, subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Thank you. Have a nice day.